Hello, today we're going to be looking at how to use equivalent ratios. This is very similar to what you guys did last week with the tables. So we're going to start with unlocking the problem. So in warm weather, the Anderson family likes to spend time on the family's boat. The boat uses 2 gallons of gas to travel 12 miles on the lake. So how much gas would the boat use to travel 48 miles? So they're asking us to find the number of gallons the boat will use to travel 48 miles. So if we look at our ratio here, they're telling us 2 gallons for every 12 miles. So when you set up these kind of problems, you got to make sure that you set up the same thing on the other side. The gallons needs to be on top, miles on the bottom. Don't flip those around. So basically, we were trying to find out how many gallons it's going to take to travel 48 miles. So we can use a table like we did last week. Our original ratio was 2 to 12. And if we double that, we would get 4 to 24. And if we triple that, we're going to get 6 to 36. And if we multiply by 4s, we're going to get 8 to 48, which is what we're looking for. So the ratio is 2 to 12 and 8 to 48 are equivalent ratios. Okay, so 2 over 12, 8 over 48, same thing. So the boat's going to use 8 gallons of gas to travel 48 miles. Okay, another example, this time they're asking us to find an equivalent ratio to 3 to 4 is something to 20. So we're going to look at our common denominators. Remember we talked about how equivalent ratios are the same thing as equivalent fractions. You want to think of it that way. So we know that 20 is a multiple of 4, so 20 is going to be our common denominator here. So if you look over to this example on the side of the screen, we know that we can do 4 times 5, which is what they did down here. 4 times 5 will give us the 20. So we have to do the same thing at the top. 3 times 5 will give us our missing number. Okay, so we multiply our numerator and denominator by 5s, just like we talked about. And the denominators are going to be the same. So that means the numerators are equivalent to one another. So our unknown value is going to be 15. So 3 to 4 and 15 to 20 are equivalent ratios. Okay. You can also check that by doing a table like we did last week. So our original ratio was 3 to 4. And then if we double that, we get 6 to 8. If we multiply by 3s, we're going to get 9 to 12. If we multiply by 4s, it would be 12 to 16. And if we multiply by 5s, we're going to get 15 to 20, which is what our answer is going to be. Okay, a couple more examples here. So sometimes you're going to find that the ratio is going to be on the opposite side. So that they have our 4 to 5 on this side of the ratio, and we've got to work the other way and figure out what is the same thing as something to 10 is the same as 4 to 5. So we want to think 5 times what gives me 10 and do the same thing to our numerators on top. So in this case, it would be multiplied by 2. So 5 times 2 gives me the 10. 4 times 2 gives me the 8 that I'm looking for. So the unknown value is going to be an 8. Sometimes you have to work the other direction. That will give you 18 to 24, and they want you to reduce it. So think reducing fractions like we've done before. So in this case, we're going to divide by 3s. So 24 divided by 3 will give us our mystery number, because 18 divided by 3 gave us a 6. So in this case, it's going to be an 8. So unknown value here is also 8. So a couple more examples down here. We want to think 3 times what gives us 15. That would be a 5. So 6 times 5 will give us 30. Over here, 5 times 2 gives me a 10. So you got to think what times a 2 will give me 8, or think backwards. 10 divided by 2 is 5, so 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. Over here, we think 4 times 3 is 12, so 7 times 3 will give us 21. And over here, we're multiplying again, so 10 times 4 is 40. So what times 4 will give us 12? Or think backwards, 40 divided by 4 will give us 10. 12 divided by 4 will give us a 3. So just think back to equivalent fractions like we did last year, and this should be pretty easy to do. You're just trying to find equivalent ratios this time instead of fractions. So hopefully you'll do fine on this. I'm sure you will. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.